What's up, wonderful people of Earth? Thank you very much for clicking this video. You are a wonderful soul. You see here, we are all about love, peace, forgiveness, and unity as our message to the world. And we believe together by you watching this video till the end, we can help spread this message straight out of Africa with good vibes, man. Lots of good vibes. Tell us where you're watching from and leave a comment there. Let's dive in, man. Good vibes.
Be okay with yourself. Be okay with what's happening. Be okay with what is. As soon as you are okay with what is happening will change. The only reason what is happening keeps happening is because you won't let it change by not being okay with what is.
Hey, what's up? Oh, I want
Focus.
that.
Sit.
Can I just have it?
No,
Can I, just,
no,
I rolled
no,
over. See,
no.
I rolled over.
Didn't ask you to do any of that.
But I did it. I did
Break.
it.
Come here.
Okay.
Sit.
Okay. I'm sitting.
Sit.
Roll
No.
over. Come on, see, I'm giving you 2 for 1. Come on, just give it to me, man.
No. Sit. Stay.
I'm staying.
Lay down.
Laying down. Rolling
No.
over.
You're jumping the gun here.
Come on.
Lay down.
Laying down. Roll over. Oh, come on now. I should have got it on that one.
You're broken.
I'm not
You
broken.
are
See, I can roll over. I'm giving you 2 for 1, man. Just give me the cookie, man. Just give me the cookie. I'm tired of this.
Sit.
I'm sitting.
Lay down.
I'm laying down. Rolling over. Come on. I earned it that time. Just give me the cookie. Thank you. I'm telling y'all right now, I don't like Halloween. I don't like trick-or-treating. It should just be treat-or-treating. What's that over? See? Ain't no person green in real life, man. What's that? What's that blob thing? What's that blob thing? Oh, you know what? I could be on this bed if I want to. I'm a grown prairie dog.
You are?
Yeah, I'm grown.
Do you have a permission slip?
I don't need permission. As a matter of fact, I give myself permission to get off.
Bye.
Bye.
So TikTok doesn't want this video to get out about the kundalini, but I'm gonna keep recording it for some reason. I feel like this needs to get out. So, the kundalini means the God within me. The kundalini is a spirit of consciousness. It's the soul's essence embodied into the human, making sure that the designated ascendee will ascend. It's a serpent, a dragon, a coil in the spine connected with the other realms, and essentially it just makes it 100% inevitable that the human will ascend. Essentially, you imagine you have 1,000 incarnations on earth. Most awakening humans have about 600 to 1,400 incarnations on earth, and they have essentially at a soul level chosen to ascend from earth and become enlightened. So the kundalini, the God within me, brings you into enlightenment inevitably, easily, effortlessly. It does it. It might hurt at the human level because you're clearing all the karma and the junk and the trauma from your ethereal body, your light body, and well, that's essentially clear. But from the humanness in you that you have accumulated across dimensions and lifetimes, all that junk gets cleared so you can ascend. Now, as I said, the kundalini is the God within me. A lot of people have prophesied the kundalini is a demonic spirit, but it's essentially the most loving, compassionate force you could ever imagine. Its single purpose is to clear you, the designated ascendee, of pain, karma, trauma, all these things that are supposedly heavy emotions and frequencies get evaporated from the body through a continuous clearing of consciousness. You see, when you close your eyes, it's all dark, but it's really full of life and dimensions and realities that are all here. The kundalini makes you, it brings in enlightenment, and then suddenly your darkness is no longer darkness, but it's full of realities and life, you know. So the kundalini is just here to support the designated ascendee, the human creation the soul chose as the one to go into ascension. Imagine these thousands of incarnations. There is one of these incarnations that bring home all of these humans and their karma and trauma and DNA and all that life wisdom into the essence of the soul, and then it can ascend from earth. So the kundalini is the God within me, and essentially it brings you to the threshold. Imagine you're standing at this metaphorical door, gateway to heaven, that you will not be able to pass through the door with all your karma and baggage and all this stuff. But once you're clear and ready, you at the soul level take the leap into enlightenment. And when you go to the other side of that metaphorical door, the light comes in and all the realms are illuminated while you're on earth, and you can ascend at any moment you choose. In the past, you couldn't really ascend in the way you do now. Now you can stay in the human body as pure consciousness. You can be in and out of the body and, you know, astral project any moment you want and literally do anything. But yeah, that's really the kundalini. It brings you into enlightenment.
Let's see. This wall, what type of wall is this? Oh, did you see that? Is that some reflection on the wall or what's up? Looks pretty cool, man. It's interesting. Telekinesis, let's see. Oh, this guy works in lifting stuff using his brain. Oh, isn't that what it is? Let's see if this guy really does it. Oh, it's some tricks here that we just can't see. Oh my god. Oh, and this thing, it has started levitating. Oh, it just started rotating. You mean this is possible? Oh my god. Yeah. This is wonderful, man. You guys out there, is there anyone that is able to do this? Or have you ever tried this and it happened? No. Even with another stuff, not just cards, anything. No. You see here from seeing different videos, it's like the human brain can do incredible stuff. Only that sometimes it can go to even extra limits of creativity. And now you can find that this is just someone doing some creative stuff, and it's not real. But anyway, share your thoughts on what you think, man. What do you think? Is this guy really doing this, or there is some string we cannot see? Oh, what do you think? Share your thoughts, man. Thanks for watching up this far, wonderful people. I love them, respect them. Good vibes, man. Share up to those around you and carry you. It's all we're all about here. Thanks for picking them. And if it's your first time here, we love them and respect them. You are in the right place, full of love and happiness and unity. You see? This is a place for everybody. As long as you are human, good vibes to you. This is interesting. Oh, and even those watching with their pets, good vibes to your pets too. Oh, good. You see, this is very suspicious.
Well, feelings are the result of what you believe to be true. The way Bashar has explained it in the channeling is it all starts with believing something to be true. It's like the blueprint of the reality. And the feelings are generated from that. Thoughts are generated from that. Behaviors are generated from that. And the experience that is reflected back to you comes as a reflection of what you initially believed to be true about yourself. So if you're experiencing something you don't prefer in life, something that's difficult and a struggle, the first thing to do is ask yourself, why am I feeling this? What would I have to believe is true about myself in order to generate this feeling? Because if you understand that feelings can't just exist in a vacuum for no reason, you'll realize that there's got to be a definition you're buying into about yourself that is actually creating that feeling. So it's good to own the feeling because you can't change what you don't own, but you have to also be able to use the feeling to trace it back to what kind of a belief you're buying into that would generate that particular feeling. Once you start examining those deep-seated fear-based beliefs that are generating those so-called negative experiential feelings, you can start to see that they don't really make sense when you examine them in the light of consciousness. It's something you probably bought into from your parents, your school, your friends, your society, and it doesn't really belong to you. It's just something you thought you had to believe in. But when you start looking at it deeply, you can kind of start to see the contradictions, the illogicness, the nonsensicalness of them, because you can look around in life and see that some of the things that you believed to be true aren't true for other people. And you go, well, if they can do that, why can't I do that if it's something that I would prefer to do? And then you start realizing that you can start sort of detaching, delinking those negative beliefs from other ideas and start going, well, I don't have to believe that. It's not a fact. It's an opinion. And I can change an opinion. I can change a belief, because there are very few facts, but there are millions of opinions and perspectives and beliefs. They can all be changed.
Oh, he's talking to you guys. What I told y'all last time. I'm back. What I told you. Oh, yeah, it's fake. Cats don't speak. Oh. Half y'all tell me cats don't speak. Half y'all tell me, oh, my cat do that in the house. If your cat do that in the house, why you still got that cat? Look at this jit. Jit sizzy. Jit sizzy, I'm not sizzy. Jit sizzy, I'm not sizzy. Cause now they got a racist cat. A racist lugau, my bad. A racist lugau, you got called the lugau by his name. A racist lugau calling Jit out of his name. Yeah. This what we come to. Y'all better be easy, man. These lugaus don't play. Seulement. Détendez-nous.
That is nuts. Yeah, that's either a plane crashing. No, that's a freaking meteor. Holy shit.
I don't think it is. Well,
Holy shit.
I don't. Oh my! It's like
It's gonna make a big boom here.
It looks like
That is so insane.
I don't even.
That is a freaking insane meteor. Shower. Oh my gosh. That is beautiful.
Is it just gonna? Oh, now it's. I guess it. Has it been going? I guess it.
Yeah, it's been going that direction this whole time.
Okay, that's because I thought it was going up.
Holy shit.
Oh my god! What do you think that was? Oh, I never noticed this dog is not the same. Oh, is this a dog? Look at the eyes. Oh, this is not normal. Look at how he's opening his mouth.
My name is Dr. Jalil Mohammed. I'm a consultant psychiatrist and my job is to diagnose and treat mental health conditions. Schizophrenia is a type of psychotic illness, and psychosis basically means when someone loses touch with the reality of what's going on around them. Now, you can get psychotic symptoms in lots of different conditions. You can have psychotic symptoms in severe depression, in bipolar disorder, in some types of dementia, as well as in some types of drug abuse. Schizophrenia is not the only condition which causes psychotic symptoms, but it is a specific type of psychotic illness. It's characterized by two sets of symptoms: positive symptoms, which are these extra symptoms that the person experiences, and negative symptoms, which are things that the person loses. The positive symptoms of schizophrenia are things like delusions, so believing things that are not true, hallucinations, hearing or seeing or feeling things that are not really there, and also disordered thoughts, so schizophrenia can lead to highly illogical thought patterns. Negative symptoms are things that the person loses, so things like social skills, motivation to look after themselves, and their performance at school or in work will deteriorate. It usually starts in the late teenage years, and the initial symptoms are usually the negative symptoms. So we'll tend to see someone will do less well in school, they might stop hanging around with their friends, spend more time at home in their room. And then as the illness progresses, the positive symptoms will start to emerge. So they may experience hallucinations, hearing voices, they may develop delusions or paranoid beliefs about what's going on around them, and they may become very illogical in the way they think. The classical story of the development of schizophrenia is in the late teenage years. A young person will start to deteriorate in their school performance. They may stop seeing their friends, they will probably end up going off to university or college, and then maybe they'll try some cannabis, and then you'll see all the positive symptoms, delusions and hallucinations start to come out. And the use of cannabis can be a trigger to psychotic symptoms. The best evidence for treatment is with antipsychotic medication, and the earlier the treatment is started, the better the outcome is likely to be.
What's the first thing you see in this picture? If the first thing you notice is a forest, it suggests that you're doing fairly well right now. You are a straightforward person who likes to be direct and open in your dealings, and you dislike those who are deceitful and sneaky. You are grounded and look forward to a promising future. In fact, you're a person of action. When you decide on something, you do it and don't just talk about it. In the future, you might prioritize the health of your family. In terms of material life, you'll get what you truly desire, and you'll be content with a moderate amount of wealth. If the first thing you see is Buddha, it indicates that you're currently feeling lost and might be going through a low point in your life. You are a talented, idealistic, and ambitious individual. Recent setbacks have made you question whether it's just bad luck or perhaps a lack of capability. Life has its ups and downs, and you need to believe in yourself and continue to persevere. God sees your efforts. In the future, fortune will favor you, and with God's blessings, you'll ascend further in your career. Wealth will flow in as your state improves, and you'll no longer worry about money.
3 signs your dog thinks you're their parent. Number 1. If your dog is always watching what you're doing and where you're going, it could mean they view you as their pack leader and are looking at you for direction. Number 2, they're protective of you. If your dog tends to be protective of you when new people are around, it could mean they see you as their parent. Dogs always want to protect those in their pack, especially whoever they see as their leader. Number 3, they cuddle you. If your dog cuddles against your leg when they're nervous, it could mean they see you as their parent that they love and trust. Follow us to learn more about your dog.
If you know that being in a positive state means that no matter what's happening, you're going to be able to get a benefit out of it somehow, then what difference does it make what the reality looks like? Why do you care? Because you are powerful enough to go, I don't care what happens. I don't care how it started. I don't care if even it started negatively. I don't care what anyone else's opinion is about it. I don't care what anyone else's experience is about it. If I remain in a positive state, I will get a beneficial effect from it. If nothing else, manifesting something that I neutrally, objectively don't prefer can still be used positively, because if nothing else, I can look at that and go, seeing what I don't prefer more clearly helps me see what I do prefer more clearly by contrast. Therefore, I've used what I don't prefer in a way that I prefer. And therefore, I get a benefit, even from something I don't prefer. So why should anyone care exactly what things look like if you know that it's all going to serve you in a positive way? So the idea of true change is, I'm going to be this positive state and I don't care what anything looks like. That's how you get the benefit. So you can't make it conditional on, well, this has to happen if I change. Because all that means is you haven't changed, because you're still making it outside yourself instead of inside yourself.
Donde muy pocos han querido caminar, le pido a Dios que me guarde su amor, para llegar puro y limpia a su mansión, seguiré a mi Jesús.
Para cumplir aquella palabra que dice que el que creyere,
miren que se puso eso, como que una cobertura, no sé,
y como tú has creído delante de Dios y de estos hermanos, el cielo y la tierra, porque
mire, ay, mire como unas alas. Tómale foto, mamá, tómale foto. Es que no puedo porque está en video. Ay, hermano. Como que miran unas alas. Mire cómo el Espíritu Santo. Ay, santo, aleluya. Ay, no.
you may be noticing that your appearance and the people that are in your immediate reality's appearance are changing very rapidly, very suddenly. It may even seem like you fell asleep and then overnight, when you woke up in the morning and looked in the mirror, you look like a completely different person. You don't look like yourself. And it might be a little bit scary and jarring at first, but there's a reason why this is happening. Your appearance is changing. The outer appearance is changing to fit the level of consciousness that you are also experiencing. So as we move into this fifth dimensional consciousness, you know, there are certain people who are going to lag a little bit behind, and it's not a bad thing. It's just neutral, okay? That some people are going to be staying a little bit behind and staying in the 3D reality a little bit longer to do some things they need to get done. As we move into this fifth dimensional consciousness, those who are moving into that energy will also portray that energy outwardly, okay, with your appearance. So the fifth dimension is all about being your true self. So you may suddenly be noticing that maybe you look a little bit older, or maybe you look a little bit more natural. Maybe you don't want to wear makeup anymore. Maybe you want to dye your hair back to your natural hair color and you don't know why. But you're going to be noticing that people who are moving into this fifth dimensional consciousness look more natural. And you can tell that they are being their natural selves by the way that they just look to you. Those that are staying behind, and I don't like to use this terminology because I feel like it's bad, but those who are staying in the 3D consciousness a little bit longer, they're going to be looking less real. So what that means is you may be looking at your friend and you may feel like you're looking at them through a filter, like through a filter that you can use on TikTok or Instagram. Their face, their skin texture, their skin tone, something about them does not look real. And you can tell just by looking at them that something is off about the way that they look, because something is off about the way that they are on the inside. Now, this doesn't mean to run around and find all the lizard people or find all the fake people or, you know, yell at somebody for being fake or anything like that. If you are in tune and aligned, all this means is that you'll be able to simply tell if somebody's being their true self with you or not, just by looking at the way that their appearance is looking to you.
Okay. Interesting.
Just tell me what caught your eye and I'll tell you how you are in love. If you saw an eagle first, your love language is complex. You've always been an emotionally independent person. You've never had much affection, attention, or emotional presence, either from your family or your romantic partners. So it's hard for you to accept someone at your side, even if it's to make you happy. It's a lesson you've learned the hard way. When you needed support, few people were there for you. Since then, you've preferred to surround yourself with people who are loyal to you. You're very loyal to them too. You can also be very sensitive and can be easily hurt by the criticisms and words of others. You may also find it difficult to make decisions and commit to a particular direction. Be careful too. You tend to be very critical and can be very hard on yourself and others. If you have cowboys and mountains first, your love language is very much oriented towards giving and receiving support. You have great sensitivity and empathy and believe that to truly love is to be able to care for another with affection and devotion. So you don't measure efforts to see those you love happy. For someone to win your heart, they have to go against the grain of selfishness and mediocrity, diving headlong into love and all it has to offer. Beware of sometimes being too kind and helpful, which can get you into trouble. You're easily distracted and find it hard to stay focused for long.
Come on, bud.
Oh, what's that thing now? That thing that looks like a cross there. This is very scary, man. Oh, is this some cross from some church there, or what's happening in this? Oh, this is really scary. What could this
What's
be
the first thing you
like?
see in this picture? If you first saw the cloud, you may seem like a very resilient and brave person on the outside. In reality, you're quite sensitive and have a heart that is easily broken. As a result, You often find yourself hurt by the words and actions of others. You hate the idea of settling for someone and have very high standards when going into a relationship. If you first saw the fish, then you have this mentality that since life is and we're all gonna die someday, we might as well live life to the fullest. Therefore, you hate wasting your precious time and attention on people and things that do not deserve it. You also value actions over words, so whenever you have a goal, you put your absolute all into it. As a result of your hard work, you will likely be very successful and achieve your dreams. However, you often feel a lot of anxiety and stress due to uncertainties of the future.
Comment what you first saw on this picture.
That's interesting. What did you first see there? Please comment. I'd like to know.
Do you want to shift timelines, but you don't necessarily know how timelines work or how to do that? Well, I got you. So here I have a diagram of how timelines essentially work. And so what happens is first you start off on a designated path, which would be the X path. And then you reach points where you are able to make choices that either get you higher in your timelines or get you to a lower timeline. And so over here you have option A, B, and C. When you get to this critical point where you are making a decision, you make a choice that either gets you down the A path, B path, or C path. And as you can see, there are difficulties to get to these points, to point X. So say you want to reach a timeline where you are successful with your business. There will be an opportunity presented to you, and say you decide to follow a more cautious path. Maybe that'll be the longest path. You will still get to this point, but it's just going to take a little bit longer. Whereas, say, in this case, you were just supposed to go straight with it, not be cautious at all, you would have catapulted straight to this point instead of going through a bunch of other obstacles. And then say when you get to this point, you can follow this path, or there could be an option presented to you where you can go up, or you can continue on this path that's a little bit lower. But you could also reach up to this higher point, but you could be presented with a decision that either keeps you going on the same path or that brings you down to a lower timeline. And then you can choose whether you continue on this timeline, or there will be more options presented to you down the line that either get you higher or lower. And so free will is what indicates what timelines we go on. So we can use our free will to either make decisions that get us higher or get us lower. And just know that every single day is filled with a bunch of choices that you can make. So every single day you have the opportunity to either reach a higher timeline or reach a lower timeline. And this goes for your thoughts as well. If you're thinking high frequency thoughts, naturally you're going to bring yourself up to a higher timeline. Whereas if you're thinking low frequency thoughts, you're going to bring yourself down and you're going to follow a lower timeline. So if you want to bring yourself up to a higher timeline, make decisions that are consistent with positive choices and choices that are going to bring you higher. And same as working on your internal monologue and how you think, because when you think positively, it is so much more easier for you to move yourself up and to raise your vibration and to raise your frequency, which ultimately brings you up to a higher dimension and higher timeline. And I would also like to add that in order for you to truly follow your highest timeline path, you're going to follow your intuition. Your intuition knows where to get you, and your intuition knows what paths to take and what choices to make in order to get you higher. So, follow your intuition and you're going to find yourself at your highest timeline.
Oh, this worked like a charm. What is this guy doing here? Oh, maybe he's cooking something or one of those life hacks we usually see. Let's see what he's up to. Is that some honey? Looks like honey.
He never got excited, rude, nor was he mean-spirited. He was very social, even though he couldn't understand others around him. He liked to touch people and learned that holding a human hand was a common social practice. He was very docile. Even when scientists were poking and examining him, he seemed to understand as he just let them go about their business. He was always willing to communicate or attempted to communicate. He quickly learned the symbol system and eventually learned our language in a very simple way. In 1950, Ebe-1 was moved to a special facility created for him at the Los Alamos National Laboratory. He lived in a little 3-room apartment. His handler, who was assigned to him in 1949, joined and lived with him in the apartment. They became such great companions that neither wanted to separate. It was found that Ebe-1 could not speak our language because of the lack of vocal cords in his throat, as the Ebens communicated via tonal inflections amongst themselves. A brilliant doctor developed a device that was implanted into Ebe-1's throat which allowed him to speak English. Although crude, he was able to speak simple sentences and eventually communicate through English to his handler. During the entire time Ebe-1 was alive, he had medical problems. He developed a rash on his body that irritated him very much. Several different medicines were tried and eventually, the rash went away. Ebe-1 developed a cough that seemed to be connected to a food allergy. They found that certain fruits would cause the cough. Eventually, the cough subsided, but he was left with a sore throat. Ebe-1 was shown the items recovered in the Roswell crash site. He was able to teach us how to utilize the communication and energy devices. We also found a medical kit, which contained small injectable tubes. Ebe-1 didn't know what each item was for, but he explained they were for injuries. Scientists experimented and determined that each tube contained a chemical substance. Not knowing what they were for, they were cautious not to use them on Ebe-1 for fear they would do more harm than good. There was no rescue mission launched for Ebe-1. The only 2 Eben crafts that were near Earth crashed at the same time. Ebe-1 did say they sent a distress signal to planet Serpo, but it would take at least 9 months for the nearest rescue craft to reach them. Ebe-1 died in 1952, and his body, along with those of his crewmates, was returned to the Ebens in 1964 during the meeting in New Mexico.
The most famous lion in the world, Scarface. He alone killed 400 hyenas, and he is the only lion to defeat a hippopotamus dinosaur in a battle. The owner of the famous video in which he appeared against a herd of hyenas and was saved by his brothers at the last moment. But this was the last time Scarface broke his own rules and attacked alone. Scarface, the lion, defended his territory from nearly 130 lions and drove a whole group of crocodiles out of his territory after they preyed on one of the group's cubs. In 2011, Scarface clashed with a lion named Marsupial, who was 3 years younger than him, but larger than him. Everyone expected that Marsupial would win and take over the rule of the clan. Scarface was injured in his leg, but he did not lose the battle, and he kept the head of Marsupial for 2 weeks before he throws it away. Scarface lost his eye in 2016 in a battle in which he fought with his brothers, 6 lions. Scarface alone killed 2 of them. The reserve's guards discovered Scar's death due to a sudden mournful roar from the lionesses.
Wow, you see, that was... nature is incredible, man, and it's just amazing. You see those lions, we see them here, and they're extremely strong, and it's just amazing, man. They're wonderful and full of love and good vibes, just like these animals we are seeing here. You see, they are playing with each other and across the fence, you see? Wow!
Oh, okay.
A group of friends and volunteers found this beached orca struggling to breathe after being trapped on the shore. Thanks to all the amazing and hard-working people, they were able to save this incredible creature and get it back into the water.
We did it! Oh, I just have saltwater all in the
Oh my god! Ha! What is this? Is this some way of removing dead skin from the body? Oh! It's pretty nice, man. From this side of the world, we do it.
Pickling kills, but fermenting saves lives. Microbial lives. What's the difference between pickling and fermenting? When you're pickling, you're often using a very astringent vinegar. Vinegar on itself is a fermented product. It's the end product of fermentation. Here we have a apple cider vinegar that is also made with apples, and here we have a beautiful vinegar mother growing on top. Vinegar on its own is fermented, but when you're pickling, you're using a very astringent vinegar to halt all microbial activity with your pickles or with your other vegetables. When we're lacto-fermenting our vegetables, we are only using salt water to allow microbial activity to take place, and in itself it turns sour. Doing this, we're allowing the microbes to work away and the enzymatic activity take place. We're getting a more bioavailable result, which means we can get all of those nutrients, vitamins, probiotics, all those goodies that are in the vegetables and released from the fermentation process. Consider fermenting your pickles rather than pickling your pickles with vinegar. It's just as easy as water and salt. Check out our online courses for lots of tips and tricks of how to make your pickles more alive and more bioavailable through fermenting.
Oh, see, now that was very interesting. You see, in all those videos that has passed, pretty many of them, man, good vibes, funny, some sad. You see, I'd like to hear your information or your feedback on all of those videos. You see, leave a comment there and hit the like button. Thanks for watching up to this far. And if it's your first time here, respect yourself. You are loved, man. Feel welcome. Hit the like button. You see, to those guys, our subscribers, feel loved, man. Respect. Because of you, we are here every day sending love. You see, there is a video that has passed there with some animals that were playing with one another, and there was some fence between them. You see, that teaches us a lot. Even if there is something between us, we can still spread love and care. Yo, good vibes, man. Yo.